Hi, I'm Sarah Noble, your host for the Modern Day Intuitive Podcast. For over 25 years, I've been on a spiritual journey, searching, learning, expanding, and growing. I've traveled the world, led by my heart, on a quest to know myself so that I can support others. This podcast was created from my deep desire to help you connect with your intuition and to inspire you to create a life where the impossible becomes possible and you live into your sacred dreams and desires. Thanks for being here and enjoy the show. Hello, my loves. As always, I'm excited to be here with you today, and thank you so much for listening and for really diving deep into yourself, into your intuition, into all that you came here to be. I love you. I'm excited to share with you that the new website is almost ready to launch, and the free gift, Ignite Your Intuition, is going to be ready soon. So please stay tuned for more on both of those. For our reading today, I am being joined by Alison Dias. Alison is a launch manager, an entrepreneur, a partner, an empress, a dream realm practitioner, an event planner, a wife, and a mama. And she's also very dear to my heart. Alison has gone through the full initiation of being who she really is again and again and again through her own decisions. She lives her life in devotion to only choosing what she loves and inspires others to do the same. For more on Alison, there are links in the show notes. And this reading that we dive into today takes us on a beautiful journey. Alison is creating a new spiritually guided career path for herself, and she wants to know how to trust herself and to lean into the mystery of the future as this new way of being unfolds for her. Through this question, our reading takes us on a journey of trusting that you are on the path. You're always on the path. Giving yourself time to adjust to the new you that is emerging. Being present for this moment rather than thinking about your future moments. Having a job versus a calling or a purpose. Letting go of how things will happen. The importance of owning your power. The importance of mental repatterning and how it is vital to include love, laughter, playfulness, and magic in your life. And we also touch on some embodiment practices to help you connect with and inhabit and live in your body. So, my loves, enjoy my reading with the beautiful Empress Alison. Hi, Alison. Welcome to the podcast. How can I help you today?
Well, I feel like I've stepped into a new part of my life that I've never imagined before, where I am at where I really want to be. This newness feels like it doesn't have a lot of structure, which is making me feel some doubt. More specifically, like I am doing a spiritual practice now. I'm a dream practitioner. I'm living in a new place. I'm stepping out of my wedding and event business, trusting my husband with that. And here I am.
What would you like to know?
How does this all happen? Like, again, how do I create when I want to create, when I'm like having to start back from really like the bare bones in a new place and a new role that I just stepped into? Like, how do I figure it out what to do next and trust in the mystery? Like, I just feel really like I'm starting to get sweaty even thinking in the future.
Yeah, so as you're talking, what you're showing me is your body cut in half. So you're showing me the lower part of you that's grounded. I can feel like your feet on the floor. I can feel this firmness in your lower part of your body. And that is sort of like the pelvis down. And then I feel this really light sensation around my ribs, as if the upper part of my body is wanting to float away. And then in the middle is this space. And there's this part of you that knows. You know how you did it the first time. You have a template inside you. There's a groundedness to you. There's a real sense of determination. Like you're just not available for no. Like you're just really solid. And then the upper part of you that as you're stepping into what I understand, right, to be a more spiritual journey, a more spiritual practice, there's a lot more floatiness to you that just feels new to you. Like it's a new place for you to operate in. And your system just hasn't quite adjusted to this level of trust and level of expansiveness that you have been stepping into.
Yes.
What's your zodiac and what, like,
Sagittarius.
okay. Are you typically like very earthly and grounded and planning and to-do lists?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm a planner. I'm a planner.
Right, the wedding planning. Yes. Okay. So what's happening, right? Like that creates a certain structure in your body that you've become sort of dependent on, or it's like your process, right? That you have used to get you where you want to be in life. And you're now at this crossroads where you're realizing that that's not who you are anymore or the way that you want to live anymore. And you're opening up to this more magical way of existing with the mystery and with uncertainty. And it's just taking your body a little time to adjust is all the way that I see it. It's very new. It feels like spring is the way that it feels like when all the buds are coming out on the trees and it's like, oh, it still might snow out there. Are you sure like you want to open yet? And it's that kind of feeling, like this really beautiful newness and freshness. And I get the sense that it's just like you need to strengthen that muscle a little bit. But it's not like it needs to be hard work. Like your system was born for this, and it's just allowing yourselves to remember it, to drink it all in, to really be nourished by this new way that you are being.
As you were saying, like, drink it all up, that's when I decided to drink my water. So and everything else that you said before that, just like really lands in me and I resonate with it really deeply. Like with all this newness, I didn't even know how to really put into words, but really, like how do I live from this place where like I can still pay my bills? Like that's really what I guess wants to be asked. And I do feel like, grounded and connected. So I think it just still I'm soaking in your words there.
Does the company that you have sort of given over to your husband, can that sustain you? Like your basic stuff for now?
Yes. And that's what is still like working for sure now. That's where our income is coming from. But my time is required elsewhere to like work on and build on my dream practice and what I want to create on this property.
So is your concern about money more about like how are you going to grow your part and you're okay financially, or are you not okay financially and you need to bring in money right now?
We're okay financially right now, but it's like a month to month thing or a bill to bill thing. But I am seeing that every time we need something paid, the money is there for it from our business. So I guess like part of me wants to stay with the business because it is sustaining us, but I also know that I need to spend some time on structuring my other business and what I want to create next.
I guess what I was trying to get a feel from was as you're moving away from the business and you're saying that your husband is taking care of it, like, is that something he can do for a while that gives you hours and freedom to pursue what you would love?
Yeah, I can see that the way that it's going about now at the pace it's going at. Yeah, I can see that.
So you're showing me like this channel between these canyons. It's like there's a river and you're in the river and the canyon is getting closer and closer. And you're really inside of this experiment with spirit and with money of
Mm-hmm.
how much are you going to trust that that water is going to carry you through the canyon, and that you only need to know right now that yes, the next bill is paid. Yes, the next month is okay. And it builds a frequency in you that really will eradicate scarcity, because the scarcity is what is coming in to tell you that that canyon's going to squeeze you. You're never going to make it through this month. And scarcity wants you to think about all the bills you have, not just next week, but next month and next year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Instead of like, it's this moment. Like if you look up, oh my gosh, this canyon is magnificent. Like the rock, the way the formations are, the colors, the sky peeking through the top, the water. Like that's what spirit wants you to see. The just majesticness of the moment that you are inside of, rather than the scarcity piece.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you follow your heart, if you show up for this calling, because it is a calling, what you have been inside of is your heart opening and flowering and expanding, because you're connecting in with your true calling. And oftentimes that isn't an experience that is like getting a job, right? Like the job, you sign up, this is the job description, this is the pay. Okay, you start on Monday. When you're
Mm-hmm.
inside of a calling, it is like chaos at times, right?
Yeah.
Because everything is being rearranged all the time based on you and what you're showing up with and what you're deciding and what you're choosing. And it's constantly being shifting, because it's a living, breathing thing that's happening to you. Your calling is coming alive inside of you. And that is an experience that is very different. And that asks
Mm-hmm.
a lot of you. What's coming up for you?
I feel emotion coming up, and honor and gratitude and love for myself for recognizing it, the calling. And yeah, it's like, really new place for me. And these amazing things are happening. And I still like doubt. And I guess it's like, feeling the collective energy. But what I'm kind of remembering is that I just need to trust and give myself the time that I need to create what I feel like is wanting to be created. So, like, another thing too is the launch manager position that I'm doing, and it all feels really fun, and I am enjoying it. And but part of me is like, but how is it gonna, like, how is this gonna be my job full time? Or how is this gonna sustain not only me, but my family?
That's such a
So,
sweet part of us, right? The one that wants to know
mhm.
how, like, because then it can plan and it can be prepared and it can cross all the I's or cross the T's and dots the I's and block your calendar. And it's like, but we don't know how, because it's unfolding, because spirit is working out the details. I don't have to.
And I love that. I like absolutely love that. And I am like, I am seeing the evidence of that. And this call is just like really reassuring me that everything's working out in my favor, because I'm choosing my gift, my calling, myself.
Yeah. What was really helpful for me during this period that you're in was I would leave myself little voice memos in the moments when I was really lit up, when the magic had just happened, when something like the miracle was unfolding. And I'd leave myself these like, oh my gosh, can you believe like this just happened? And you're so on the right track. Don't give up. Keep going. And I'd give myself these like encouraging pep talks. And then when the how showed up and the fear showed up and what are you thinking? How can you ever do this as a career? I would go back and play those voice memos for myself, because in that version of me was all in. Like that version knew that we were not quitting, that everything I wanted was real and could happen. And I would play them for the part of me that like wanted to doubt. And it was really kind of fun. And so I'm just offering that to you that could be helpful in this place you're at.
Yeah, I can see myself doing that. I have done it a few times too, not knowing. But yeah, those moments when the veil is pulled back and you can see like that all you had to do was trust and take inspired action when it shows up and be brave
And have fun and
and
laugh and
have fun.
play.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, where would you love to go from here in our call? How can I support you?
I guess I don't know. I'm often in this place of I don't know.
Yeah, and that's fine. What you're showing me, you're bringing me back to the image in the beginning where there was the body with the lower part and then the upper part, and in the middle is the space, and it's right around your third chakra. So let me just feel into that and see what they want us to know, because the space feels significant, like there is a piece missing. There's like a building block is the way that I'm experiencing it. It's like a connector that connects the bottom to the top so that you can access the groundedness and also draw from the expandedness, but that they need to be plugged in together because you are in a human body, right? Like there's the soul, the divine part of you, but it's chosen to be in this body. So something that is going to plug the two together. And I sense it around your power and giving your power away to others, people taking your power, you leaking your power, you maybe not having practices that really own your own power. So what do you make with that?
I think there's like that definitely makes sense. And yeah, like kind of there's like that missing piece because like in, a very real sense, I do feel like grounded and connected. And I also feel like my head is in the clouds a bit connected to the divine. And I would love both parts to communicate with each other. So I'm not in so much of a I don't know space.
Yeah. What practices do you have that help with that? Like when you find yourself off in the clouds, like what do you do?
I just give myself a time out. Just, sit and just breathe and tune back into myself and calm my spirit back to my body.
Yeah, having some embodiment practices that you're doing more regularly, like as in not just when you find yourself gone, but as a daily practice, like, oh, okay, at 9 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 6 o'clock, I do this practice that reminds my body that I live here inside of it. And those could even be like really beautiful practices, like taking oil and anointing your skin and really just following your fingers over your body. It could be having a bath where you really are paying attention to your body in the water and how it feels. It could be standing on the earth, really feeling all your toes and your feet, like just simple, beautiful practices that are like an honoring and a celebrating of being inside of a human body, and where you build this frequency of connection to your body. Sometimes like yoga nidra practices can be really beautiful before bed, where you're mentally connecting in with each part of your body. And but also like I get the sense that like a physical actual touching your body and having your body move inside of spaces will be really helpful in this practice of connecting you.
Yeah, I would love to like set some alarms and do that. The anointing of oil sounds really luxurious. I love that one. And the yoga nidra, that's new to me and I would love to try that. But it definitely does sound like good medicine for sure.
And I realized like you can't take a bath every day at 2 o'clock or something. So, like maybe those are your more luxurious practices. And then you have some really simple ones that like you pat your body or you jump up and down, or, like there's just things that you can do in the midst of your day and your life, but that really allow you to come down. And would you say like you're kind of gone drifting off as a spiritual experience, or are you more like caught in mental patterns?
I would say it's both.
Okay. So for those mental patterns, having some things that you do as well, like to rewire the loops that we get caught in. So when you just become really aware that, oh, there I am thinking about that thing again that I don't need to be thinking about right now. And just these short practices that call you back to the moment. I love having mantras. I love having things that I am creating in my life that if I catch myself off thinking about something about my kids that is not helpful to anybody in that moment, I'm like, oh, I'm going to think about that new program I'm creating. All right, let's dream about that. Whereby you're training your brain to focus on creation as opposed to problems or things that you can't do anything about.
Yes, I love that. That's helpful.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to look at today or ask about?
I would like to ask about my daughter. As a mother, I feel very connected with her, but even more so, I feel like she's, constantly like reminding me to play and to be and to step away from work. I feel like she is like helpful in this process too. And maybe she is that building block too, in a way, in my center. But if there's anything that you can feel for there, I'd be curious to know.
Yeah, there's this really beautiful heart connection between you two. And there's this beautiful relationship where I see her and she looks up to you and she admires you and turns towards you for guidance. And yet she also is a teacher for you. Like she has this presence like, Mama, I'm here to show you some stuff too. And so like this beautiful give and take of relationship that's available through her. And you're right. Like she is here to help you remember that play is a beautiful way to create. And it's actually essential in creating something that is sustainable and like sustainable of your life, right? Like we can build through seriousness and planning and calendars and overdoing, but that's not sustainable. But when you build a foundation on love and laughter and playfulness and magic and devotion, there's like, I mean, it's just incredible, like the feeling of what is possible for you.
Well, that sounds amazing. And I'm glad that, there was a connection there and that, yeah, and like just how you said it too, like that is her, that's her personality. So thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. What medicine are you making with our call today? What are you taking away?
That it doesn't, and this one's a hard one, but really is stepping away from like the planner and the overworker that needs to know how and when, that they played their role, and this spiritual practice and creation that I'm in right now is calling for more play and presence and connectedness with my body, honoring those parts of me and saying thank you to that overworker and the planner that is still there but not needed right now.
Yeah, and there is a place for them, right? Just they don't have to work so hard.
I know.
Like it's okay, take a vacation.
Yeah, they can take a vacation and like let this, empress rule.
Mm-hmm. Does that feel like an okay place to land today, my love?
100%.
Well, thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you for being here today and making your personal and spiritual growth a priority in your life. To learn more about connecting with your dreams and your intuition so that you can create a life full of possibilities, visit me at www.sarahnoble.com and see how we can create magic together. A big thank you from my heart to yours for making the planet a better place for us all.